Hello, comrades, Nazis, and World War II refugees. I'm Laura, and this is tropetrinitytrilogy. Today, I'll be reviewing Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. Salt to the Sea is a historical fiction about one of the greatest tragedies to ever happen in the world's history. And, of course, not many people know about it. I wonder why the Nazis tried to cover it up. So, obviously, it's a really happy book. This is also a standalone book, so that's nice, because I don't see many standalones. It has 4 point of views. The main characters are Joanna, a Lithuanian nurse, Florian, a Prussian apprentice on the run, Amelia, who wears a pink hat, which is why I'm wearing a pink hat, who is a young Polish girl who is a poor cinnamon roll and too good for the sinful earth. She's my baby. Amelia's my baby. And Alfred, a batshit crazy German sailor. They're all very diverse and from different backgrounds. And I remember in an interview I saw Ruta Sepetys say that the reason she did that was because she thought each side, like different point of views of the world deserved to be told, and that having one perspective wouldn't have done it justice. And I have to say, I really like the multiple point of views, and the chapters between the point of views is all really short. Like the first one, they each have like a page and a half between each character, and it's really poetic and well done. And I have to say, I really enjoy this book. There's nothing really I can say against it. It's a great, well-written book. Ruta Sepetys, I remember also in that interview, she traveled to Europe and researched this. She interviewed survivors and historians and went to museums and the sites of events. And she pretty much researched it for a year, maybe more. I remember she does this for all of her books, and that's why, and I really enjoyed this book and all the dedication she puts it. So, of course, after this, I bought her other 2 books, and I plan on reviewing them later, but I don't have them here right now, so I can't show you them. But her research and effort really shows. The book is amazing, guys. It actually feels like the time period, the location, it's really authentic, and it's a really great, well-written book. I honestly, I usually try to say positives and negatives. Can't really think of many negatives except that there isn't more, but even then, the length of it is really fitting. It doesn't feel too short or anything. All the characters, including the side characters without point of views, are all well-written, unique. The world in this book, it takes place between Germany and Russia, so the worst possible place you could be in World War II. It sucks for everyone. And it's in the winter, so, of course, best weather between the two batshit crazy armies. The world feels alive, the location really plays a role into it. It's not just, oh, it happens to be here. It really feels like they're on the run, and the snow and the ice and the war going on around them. This book, unlike most books I read, it's not about the heroes, defeating the bad guys and saving the world. These are 4 people amongst the chaos and tragedy of what's happening, trying to survive. So this isn't a book where they plan everything and save everyone and become the heroes. This is just 4 people doing their best in this awful situation, trying to make it through. And they are all even batshit crazy Alfred, they're all victims of what's happening in the world, and it's really heartbreaking to see what happens. And this book isn't something you want to pick up to cheer you up, but I think it's an important story that should be more well known and told, and I think this is a great way to learn about it. Even though it's historical fiction, so the protagonists aren't actual people, the event is real. The only real negative is that this book ripped my heart out, threw it on the ground, and digged a jig on it. But, other than that, great. I don't need my heart. I'm dead inside anyway. It's an important topic, but it's still written in a way that it's short, it's easy, it doesn't feel like you're just researching the topic. And I think everyone should read it, unless, again, you're looking for a pick-me-upper, then don't read this book because it will break you. So, in this book, Joanna, Florian, and Amelia all are traveling between Russia and Germany in order to get to a boat controlled by the Germans, aka the Nazis, in order to escape the oncoming Russian assault. Because even though they don't like either of them, the Russians are more gung-ho about killing them, I think. At least in this case, because the Russians are coming from the east, and they're trying to escape to the port in the west where they can get on a ship and escape the oncoming Russians. And then Alfred, who is not on the run, is a sailor on one of the ships they're trying to escape to. This book is about them traveling from where they are and trying to escape before they pretty much all die. Yay! And it's about some of them are on the run, and some of them can't even let the Nazis know who they are. And so they have to be able to manipulate them in order to escape the communists, because that's a problem they have. Communists murdering them or fascists murdering them. You choose. That's a really quick summary of the plot, them trying to escape. The story delves into their past, and a lot of the story kind of flips between what has happened, what is happening, and then there's a lot of them remembering what happened. Some of them have little flashbacks. Some of them just explain, remember what happened in the narrative. But the book definitely develops them, and you kind of get to know their present and their past, back and forth. You don't necessarily know everything about them, and a lot of it's discovering the characters and the world and just hoping that they make it. So if you are upset or you can't read, I would hope most people will be upset, but if you do not feel like you can read any type of sexual assault in a book, I would not recommend this, because this book does feature it, and if that makes you uncomfortable or makes you upset, then this book, I would not say that you can read it. It's used with a reason, so it's not just for the sake of it, but I will say it is in there, so if you can't read that, then you can't read this book. I recommend this book for anyone who loves historical fiction or reading or can read. Just read this book. I think it's very important. And if this review has not convinced you yet, remember, the Nazis tried to cover this up. Don't let Nazis determine what you read and what you know. At the very least, read this book in a way to tell the Nazis to fuck